Welcome to the Kickstarter for The Silence 2. My name is Chad Nuss. I am the creator, author, and artist for the comic book sci-fi series called The Silence. I'm also a co-host with the Dastardly Dingoes podcast where we talk about comic book news and events. And I started my own freelance business called The Silence Arts. Several years ago, I launched my sci-fi comic book series, The Silence, with a successful Kickstarter campaign. And now I'm back with book 2. In this issue, there is tons more world building, character development, and story for you to dive into. So I'm super excited for you to check out this page and get your hands on this book. For those of you who are back to support book 2, I just personally wanted to say thank you. And for those of you that have just discovered The Silence, I wanted to give you a bit of a background on the story so you can see what the world is all about. The Silence is a story about two flawed heroes in their search for the meaning of life. They find themselves in a flawed universe. First, on their planet, where they discover everything they've been taught since childhood is turning out to be a lie. And second, in their galaxy or universe, where as they discover each planet in their search for meaning, they are faced with this unnerving silence. I call The Silence a space symphony. It's a long-form story told in 4 movements. And the setting for the story is the Prolegomena system, which is a galaxy cluster of 12 planets. And each one of these planets represents a different worldview or philosophy for the characters to interact with. This may sound deep and heavy and maybe even a bit boring, but it's not. It's philosophical and entertaining, but at the end of the day, it's a work of art and something that is truly beautiful. There are a lot of sci-fi stories out there. Whether you're looking on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or go to your local comic book store, there are tons of books being published from the science fiction genre. So why support this book? Why support The Silence 2? Well, I have a variety of influences, everyone from Jim Lee, Will Portacio, Mark Silvestri, and those great 90s image artists, to modern cinema like 2001, Blade Runner, Interstellar, to contemporary artists like Marcel Duchamp and Max Ernst and Sol LeWitt. So what I'm trying to do with this book is more than just give you traditional comic book storytelling. I'm trying to create a story and a work of art that is both entertaining, beautiful, and intensely deep and philosophical. The Silence 2 is a different book. It begins with an extended prologue that goes into a lot of the world building and background information and character development of the story. It continues with a section of traditional comic book format and then ends with a section of poetry and appendices. Now, don't be thrown off by the poetry. I know poetry is not for everyone, but I include an appendix that gives an explanation and an interpretation of the poem, which just adds another layer to the storytelling of this book. This Kickstarter campaign is simple and straightforward. The main focus of this campaign is the book itself. There will be different reward levels and incentives, but at the end of the day, I just want you to get this book in your hands. The book comes in a 6x9 hardcover edition with a full color cover and black and white interiors with some additional sketch pages and background information. I'm offering The Silence #1 for those of you who missed the first campaign, as well as some different reward tiers and incentives, some group packages, and for backers, some interesting stretch goals, including some possible Zoom time and Q&A sessions with me as a creator. I really want this to be an interactive experience where you have access not only to the book, but to me as a creator as well. I'm really excited about the future for The Silence. As you watch this video, I have about 95% of the book completed and should have it all the way done by the end of the campaign. I've already contacted a printer and have a print schedule ready to go, so as soon as the campaign's over, the book will be in your hands shortly. In July, I was able to quit my job and start a freelance art company, which means I now have time that I can devote solely to the Silence comic book series. I plan on continuing the series for an overarching run of up to 40 issues. So I want to invite you to get on board now because this will be an exciting run, something to look forward to for years to come. If you like what you see here while you're scanning through the Kickstarter campaign, please check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at The Silence Comics, where I post daily updates on this book and other artwork I'm involved in. I'm really excited for you to be involved in this project as we explore the meaning of art and life together.